Hi there, welcome back. We are going to go over the contracts for the week. This is our second week. We're excited. We've got a bigger number than even last week. What is it this week?
Way bigger, close to $17 billion. And $17 billion is how much?
17,000 million?
There you go.
So this is the contracts that the United States Defense Department has given out to private companies for the week. Just the week. That's it, right?
Yeah, it was March 10th to March 14th, 2025. They only published the contracts that are over $7.5 million. So that's what we were looking at. And we've got 89 contracts we looked at. We're just going to talk about a couple right now.
Yep.
And those are the most that are, anything super large or questionable or
just
unusual.
kind of wacky and crazy too.
Or
right?
whatever.
Yeah, the whole thing. The whole schlemiel.
Yeah, so 89 contracts, here are just a few of them. We start out with the contracts for Monday, March 10, 2025. The first one, Slipsis Corporation out of Fulton, Maryland. It's a part of the Raytheon family and Collins Aerospace. A contract for $182 million for software. As usual, the Defense Department doesn't give us any specifics on what the project is about or where this is exactly going to fit in, but I have a good guess that it would be for the Army Black Hawk helicopters, new avionics. Next one down, System High Corporation in Chantilly, Virginia. $34 million, $766,000 contract. Not big, but we see down below that this is added on to a previous contract that will give us a total of $124,455,000. Next one, Blind Industries and Services of Maryland. That's for physical fitness uniform jackets for the Army, $17,301,000. Seems like a lot for fitness uniform jackets. Next one is for the Saudi Naval Support Company in Saudi Arabia. And this is going to, looks like they're going to be doing some work on the Prince Sultan Air Base in Saudi Arabia. This outfit is a builder, and that's for a big number, $100 million. I'd be interested in knowing more about that. Next one, Battelle Memorial Institute of Columbus, Ohio, which is one of the rare contracts given to a nonprofit organization. This is sort of a scientific think tank, basically. It's a big contract, nearly $100 million for production and support of electronic modular aerial spray system. Don't know what that one's about. Let's go to Raytheon, the next one, for $91,951,000, which is for activities required to reduce the risk of integrating advanced medium-range air-to-missile C8 and D3 variants. Next one is Eagle Pitcher out of Joplin, Missouri, gets nearly $20 million for Minuteman III intercontinental ballistic missile work. This contract provides for production of missile guidance system batteries, and I think these Minuteman missile 3s are just about gone as far as their service life goes, so I don't know why they're upgrading them. Next one is, I don't know how to pronounce it. It looks like Detienne's Shipyard in South Carolina. And this is $21 million plus for doing some work on the U.S. Naval Lewis and Clark, which is a support vessel. This adds on to a previous contract, bringing the total up to $56 million. Moving on to the contracts for March 12, 2025. BOH Environmental LLC out of Louisiana gets a big contract, nearly $500 million. It's $466 million for specialized shipping and storage containers. And they make very fancy containers. If you or I were starting out trying to make big containers, we'd be using 20 or 40-foot shipping containers and repurposing them and trying to keep the cost down to a low amount. But hey, what the heck? This is taxpayer money, no problem. Next contract is one out of the, it's for a number of companies out of different places, and this is going to be all performed at the Joint Base McGuire-Dix Lakehurst, which is the combination of the old Air Force Fort McGuire and Army's Fort Dix and the Navy's Lakehurst. And this is for $300 million, good size contract. Next one is Raytheon out of Tucson, Arizona for $92 million for medium range air-to-air missiles. Next one, Jacob Technology for $58 million, but this is in addition to a previous contract that brings the cumulative contract value to up close to $500 million. It's $449,294,000. Next one is Cody Stevens for $40 million for plumbing, heating, and air conditioning projects. And this is for the Naval Complex in Port Magoo and Port Hueneme and San Nicolas Island and Ventura County, California. This is a big plum for these guys. They're fairly small, and I would imagine this is the biggest contract they've ever had. Finally, for this state, we have BAE Systems, $48 million for study, design, development, enhancement, testing, procurement of advanced communication electronics technologies. These BAE's on these pages all the time, and they make a whole bunch of things, so there's no telling what exactly this contract is for. And we go on to the contracts for March 13th, 2025. The first one is for the Army, and it lists a whole bunch of companies here that are going to compete for each order of the $4,193,000,000 cost plus fixed fee contract for production of lighter than air systems, tethered systems, and elevated sensors. And that's about all I can tell you about that one. BAE Systems, again, $356 million for an armored multi-purpose vehicle. These guys make all sorts of land vehicles for the Army. Next one is Robotic Research, OPCO LLC, $92,851,000 for Sand Hills Robotic Breaching Systems. And that's a project to design and build a robotic system to disarm landmines. We go down to Lockheed Martin Missiles and Fire Control of Orlando, Florida. They've been awarded a $1,925,000,000 contract for some missiles, and that's just a modification of an earlier contract, which brings the whole amount up to $5,180,000,000. That would be 5,180 times $1 million. Wow. Northrop Grumman Systems. These guys are down to the Piker area now. They're $267 million for some looks like naval systems here. Let's go to Northrop Grumman, $59 million. And this is to exercise options for the Littoral Combat Ship Mission Module Engineering and Sustainment Support. And the Littoral Combat Ships are probably one of the worst failures the Navy has ever put out, even worse than the Zumwalt destroyers. And some of these ships they're not that old. They're just a recently built ship, but they're already getting cracks in the hulls, and some of them are already decommissioned. And it seems like they should just be putting this project to rest. But we're going to spend another $59 million on it, by golly. NSAFE of Memphis, Tennessee gets a $49 million contract. Huntington Ingalls of Newport News, Virginia gets a $22 million contract, which is already on top of another contract or contracts that will bring it to $358 million. And this is for the advanced planning and long-range lead time material procurement to prepare and make ready for the accomplishment of the U.S. Navy, U.S. Nimitz inactivation and defielding. Well, the aircraft carrier Nimitz is going out of service, and it's a nuclear aircraft carrier, and it's going to be fairly expensive to get the nuclear waste out of this aircraft carrier. I don't know if they're going to whack the carrier up or what they're going to do with it, but it's going to cost us $358 million. Next one is Pixels on Target of Sunrise, Florida for $92 million for miniature aiming system night squad kits. Next one, Campus Text LLC of Moraga, California gets $20 million for a virtual bookstore and related services at the Uniform Services University of the Health Sciences. So it sounds like this is just an online bookstore, which is basically software, and they're paying $20 million for this. Maybe there's more to it than we see here. Here's Federal Prison Industries, Inc. for more physical fitness uniform jackets.
Okay, well, it's that time again. We're going to let you know what this $16 billion could have paid for if we chose to use it in a different way. For instance, perhaps if we were through with war and we didn't need to create more and more weapons of destruction against our fellow human beings, we could pay the average salary for a teacher is $70,000. We could hire an additional 241,000 teachers for a whole year.
Yeah, and then, but what if you just hired even another, say, 41,000 teachers and then spent the rest of it on bringing down the national debt? Our national debt is soaring out of sight, and a lot of
supposedly this is what DOGE is so concerned about, but they don't seem to be concerned about the military spending yet.
No, they aren't.
That's partly why we're here. We're trying to shine a little light on that subject and that issue. So thanks for joining us here. So the next one is the average annual salary for a medical doctor is $350,000 per year. We could hire an additional 48,317 doctors for a whole year with just 1 week's worth of contracts.
Wow. You know how hard it is to find a doctor, so that would be a worthwhile thing, rather than spending it on money that's going into Lockheed's pocket and Northrop Grumman's pocket. Why get doctors for us and get
more
us better health care? Okay, what's next?
The next is the weekly food cost for a single adult is $110, and that's pretty conservative, I think. We could feed 2,956,459 adults for a whole year with this $16 billion.
You could feed 3 million United States adults for a year with what we spent on contracts last week, the big contracts from Department of Defense. Okay.
Now the annual average salary for a national park ranger is $48,000. We could hire 352,311 park rangers for a year. Is that
wow.
Right? Okay, the next one is the annual monthly Social Security retirement check is $1,976. We could pay the annual Social Security benefits for 713,181 retirees with that money. So
yeah, what's irksome is they're talking about reducing Social Security benefits. They say, well, we're not going to do it, but boy, they're slashing everything else, and all the seniors I know are
we're concerned.
Sort of planning on getting their benefits slashed. So
it's understandable.
It's not it shouldn't be slashing benefits if you can buy jet planes and that sort of thing in large quantities.
Correct.
Okay. So
what time is it now?
It's time for the Pete Hegseth Award.
Okay, excellent.
Pete Hegseth, as you may know, is our Secretary of the Department of Defense, and he came in there with no experience, no managerial experience. I have more managerial experience in my career than Pete Hegseth has.
That's true.
So, but at any rate, this award goes to the most ludicrous, highest big dollar expense of the week. So, okay, this one special is we've got 2 envelopes here.
Drum roll. What is it?
It goes to Donald Trump and Pete Hegseth himself. Oh my God, it's for the F-47 jet fighter project that was announced just yesterday.
Is that for the FU-47?
The F-47 dictator, as they are already calling it. So Gee, you know, it's interesting. We just chopped off the Department of, this is from yesterday.
Same day.
What's today, March 22nd,
Yeah.
2025? So,
Same day as letting go of many
well,
Department of Education.
the day before, I think they cut off the Department of Education. Trump said he can't tell us what the cost of this project is because it might alert our adversaries as to the technology involved. Now, I don't know how the adversaries can figure out the technology if we tell them the price,
Yeah.
because it's probably going to be an inflated price anyway. But if you don't believe me, here's the video.
But we're here for a reason today that is very exciting, and I'm thrilled to announce that at my direction, the United States Air Force is moving forward with the world's first sixth-generation fighter jet. Number sixth generation. Nothing in the world comes even close to it. And it'll be known as the F-47. The generals picked a title, and it's a beautiful number, F-47. It's something the likes of which nobody has seen before in terms of all of the attributes of a fighter jet. There's never been anything even close to it, from speed to maneuverability to what it can have to payload.
Well, that's what Donald Trump had to say, and it's not fair to not give Pete Hegseth some video time, as he's the co-winner of this award.
We've had the F-15, we have had the F-16, the F-18, the F-22, the F-35. Now we have the F-47, which sends a very direct, clear message to our allies that we're not going anywhere, and to our enemies that we will be able to project power around the globe unimpeded for generations to come. Mr. President, this is a gift to my kids and your kids, to my grandkids and your grandkids. This is a historic investment in the American military, in the American industrial base, in American industry, that will help revive the warrior ethos inside our military, which we're doing, rebuild our military, which the previous administration did not do, by the way, Mr. President. They paused this program and were prepared to potentially scrap it. We know this is cheaper, longer range, and more stealthy. President Trump said we're reviving it and we're doing it.
So what's on your notebook here?
Well, this is some of the figures that I add up. I have to go down through each contract and write down the amount, and I do it by day. And as you can see here, there's one day where, what was it? It's over here. Yeah, gee. March the 14th, it was $7.8 billion in contracts. But yeah, so I add them up like this, and then we, we have to go through all the contracts. So it's sort of a job. So I hope you like it. Let us know in the comments section if you do. And we've got some interesting stuff coming up. What's coming up?
Okay, we went on a field trip last week to a really cool desert town that was put on the map by a movie 25 years ago, and that's all we're going to tell you. You're going to have to come back and watch our next video to see.
And what's happened to this town? It's really interesting.
Yeah, we wanted to see, is it healing? Is it getting better? Are people moving back in, or are more people moving out? We also went to Lahaina,
Lahaina, Hawaii, on Maui.
Ago. Yeah, and we wanted to check in with the people there and the homes and the progress that's being made there after that fire that was there a couple years ago. And so we've got that video coming up.
Especially with the disposal of the fire-damaged homes, all the refuse left behind.
Oh, that's right. We wanted to see, what are they doing?
And what are they doing about the temporary housing there?
Right,
they've got to house a lot of people very quickly.
Yeah, we've got that coming your way. So come back, stick with us. We've got more good stuff coming up, plus a special edition Pete Hegseth Award.
Yeah, this is pretty big. This is not for just one contract, but it's worth listening. It's worth watching, believe me.
Yeah.
So at any rate,
please
be nice to your neighbor.
Yeah, and share, subscribe. What is that whole thing? Share, subscribe,
comment,
like, do all that stuff, because we want this channel to grow. We think it's worthwhile.
Yeah, we want to keep everybody informed about what's going on with the Defense Department. Not many people know. I don't think there's anybody else
doing this.
anywhere that's adding up these contracts and bringing to light what this money is being spent on and how much it is.
Yeah.
And you want to keep informed because this is crazy stuff. 17 billion worth of taxpayers' money just went out this week that usually isn't accounted for anywhere. People don't look this stuff up. So at any rate, hey, be nice to your neighbor.
Yep.
We'll see you then.
See ya.